Is a thing. True love or real love is hard to find. It has always been hard to find, but now it's way more pronounced than before. See, back in the day when the nuclear family was promoted, was the thing. It was the standard of operation of adulthood. You know, you get married, you have a wife, you have children. Society at large was the moral compass because there was most cultures had Christian or biblical worldviews. You know, the husband is the head of the home, and the wife, you know, she's a nurturer, and she stayed in her place, and the husband stayed in his place. Everybody got their place. Okay, it's not about to say women staying in their place means they're less than, because lately people are triggered by any words, and children were born out of that union, and they came forth, and they became productive members of society. Okay, now what happened back then is that society aided the man. Society aided the man feel loved by shaming the woman if she was out of line, to say, hey, you can't do that to your husband. That's your husband. You need to do better than that. You're a good Christian woman. So it forced her to fall in line, and therefore the man felt loved. That's not to say back then women were more loving, but they were more loyal to their role. The role that they played, they were more loyal to it. But what's happened now is that when women have been fed the cash flow, they've been fed the career, instead of seeing it as empowering to aid the family union, they see it as, now I don't have to be submissive to him. Now I don't need to be around. Now I don't have to do as I'm told. Now I can wear my slutty clothes that I always wanted. But society made me feel like it's a shameful thing for me to do that. So the money aids her to liberate her from the rules that were put in place to help the man feel loved. When the man felt loved, he went and fought wars. He went to war for her. He went to work. Men did hard jobs. Men still do hard jobs, but men went and died on the job. Underground mines, coal mines, okay? Because the woman was in her place. She couldn't just wander the streets or talk bad about him on social media and say, I don't need men, men are trash, men, I got small dick energy. She could not talk like that because society did not allow it. So the man felt he had something worth fighting for. So he felt loved. Whether she felt it in her heart or resented him almost mattered nothing, because when he came home, the food was cooked. You see what I'm saying? So if the words "I love you" are not there, but the food is cooked, the nurturing is there, the children are taken care of, the man felt love, so he went and protected what he believed was his, because he felt loved. And men will always fight for their family. That was a given. So now we've removed the first, we've incentivized the woman by giving her cash, and for her cash, more cash means liberation from the man. I don't need you, and we hear that way too many times. I don't need you, because money represents the provision that she was receiving from the man. She forgets about other forms of provision. So now she's like, I don't need you. It's a strange concept. When a man gets more money, it trickles down to his family. When a woman gets money, she becomes hyper independent. She becomes independent even of her man. Very few women can execute the capacity of knowing that there's need to be under a man regardless of the financial status. Very, very, very few. Most of them, what they do is they go out on their own, and then they go on a binge, on a crazy. Let me taste everything. Let me eat up everything. They have crazy sexual experiences, and they burn out. And then they try to sell what they have towards the end. It's like me selling candles that are been used. A candle was, long was, it was a normal candlestick, and now I've used it. Now it's almost at this last end. I'm trying to sell it for premium prices. So now, because society does not protect them from that, there's no shame framework to it. So then she comes along, she says, I made a mistake, I shouldn't have. But oftentimes they're not saying I made a mistake. Oftentimes they're like, Y'all men are losers. Y'all men are pathetic. Y'all men are weak. Y'all need to date single mothers. They're trying to shame the man who was doing the right thing. So, but the point I was trying to make is that before, society helped the man structure his home and feel loved, even if maybe back then there was an absence of love. Because we do have to question how women love. Because if these days we see that one of the reasons that was huge was finances. When the man was down and out, women got up and left him because he didn't have the money anymore. He didn't have the means. So it tells you that there was a conditioned element to the man's love, to the woman's love. So I do believe that that's not a new concept. I think that's always been there. It's just that women were forced to be shielded from their natural tendencies to demonstrate their lack of love, because to men love is demonstrated. You know, you may feel some type of way in your heart about me, but if everything is in place and you give me that respect, then I feel loved. You see, so we just fall in love with a cute face, nice body shape, nice little soft personality, and we're good, and we're gonna go and protect that. That's just how we are as people. But I think that women, I think that their sense of how they love, somebody could see biological survival mentality where they just go where it's better and they keep doing that. Yes, of course, there are a few outliers of women that will hold the man down regardless of where he's at. But we know that women, it's been magnified these days, that since they can say, hey, I got my own money, I pay my own bills. So if women kept making way more money than men, they would go without men. And in fact, we would have a far more pronounced whorish 304 culture than we do now. If every single woman had way more money than every man, they wouldn't belong to any man. Marriage would be dead. That would be the fastest way. Marriage is already on the way out, but women still need men because, on the way out, they start to not want to work as much. Men can keep going and going. The man machine is built stronger than the woman machine. The woman machine was designed for a different purpose. The man machine can endure long hours. So now, because women, they discover this far later, like, oh, you know what, I don't want to work no more, and they want to compromise with the man, but not knowing that they have burned the candle. The engine's blown, the gasket's gone. So I believe that society aided the man in terms of the love that he felt at home. But now, because of the framework, now society is toxic. It's telling the woman, you don't need him. You get your own. And girls, I mean, ladies, be busy online. The TikTok has helped them give them a voice. You don't need him. Girl, you go get the bag. And then when they are down and out, when they're being homeless and being evicted, then they want to shame the man instead of apologizing profusely and bowing their knee and say, look, I fucked up. I shouldn't have. But they want to try and use manipulation. But men are privy to that, because when you are a man and you've been burned out of the emotionality of just your love being given out and being rejected, you're above that. Your tears don't move you no more. You know, they don't move you anymore. So I think that now genuine love or true love is hard to find, because there's a sense that women support bad behavior, any form of bad behavior. They support it. Look at the ratchet music industry that women are all about. Okay, the whole idea of Ebony K. Williams, when she said, "I'm gonna have a child," single mother by choice. Women are all about that. Fantasia sang "Single Mothers, Single Ladies" by Beyonce, even though she don't believe in that. They support it. The day they dismantle that, that'll be the day you go see some type of a change. So because they support it, you see men don't feel loved, because a man cannot trust a woman who is only there based on the conditions being right. It's almost like I come into the house because it's raining outside. If it stops raining outside, then we'll be back outside. So a lot of women, and you can see even older women, they want to be outside. It's just that age is slowing them down, so they have to negotiate. But they're negotiating with a bitter heart, not a willing heart, not an agreeable heart. And how could they have an agreeable heart? Because they've been burned out. They've had a lot of guys have had their turn with them. These are not fresh vegetables; they're yellow and hard vegetables that you don't want to have. But because some men are simps, they take them on, and then they have this horrible relationship. So true love and genuine love is always going to be hard to find. It's always been the case, but I think men had a leverage. Society helped, and men went out to do their thing. But these days, because women are being pushed to be out of order, and out of order behavior is magnified and promoted in music, magazines, dress code, fake things that men don't like, but these are the common things. I've said enough. Peace, love, and blessings.